going on, Macro Perspective peeps? Another episode recording here today. Man, we have something special. As you all know, we just love to talk to people, get really down and gritty to the nuance, all right? Whether it's fitness, nutrition, finance, career, sexual health, whatever it is, as a self development podcast that we're kind of branding ourselves now, the Macro Pod. Today, we have a special guest. Her name is Basma Albiel. She's got the Bold Movement Media, and her whole spiel is getting people to make six-figure months with their social media. So she's a business coach in that sense. But I'm going to let her speak upon that. I'm really excited to have her here. But Basma, would you mind just introducing yourself and how you got into this sector of the world?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I'm so glad to be here. And yeah, so my name is Basma Albiel. And what I do is I help coaches to scale online through their social medias, media buying, and all that kind of stuff. So I help them to grow their accounts as well as how to buy ads to support that. So I help them organically and with paid media. So that's really what I'm specialized on. I started as just working as an intern for coaches, doing their ads, doing their website funnels, and so on and so forth. And then I took a lot of programs as I was really helping my clients online. And then I started to work in agencies. I was a media buyer for like big accounts. And then I learned a lot about offers, what makes an offer really sell well with like paid ads. Then I transitioned back from working in agencies to work with online coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when I really started to skyrocket the clients that I had in the past and even still have till now. And that's really, you know, a little bit of a background of what I do.
That's so cool. And I know you say coaches. Obviously, Marcos and I are like fitness and nutrition, performance health and wellness kind of coaches. Um, is that kind of the space that you're in, or is there other coaches too, like coaches that are not necessarily about fitness, not about nutrition? Coaches that are in different niches. Do you have experience with that?
Yes, so most of my experience is really working with business coaches and also health and wellness coaches. So these are the niches that I really, really like stand out on, especially like in the healing niche, in the spiritual realm. That's really what most of my clients are, surprisingly. Like I've never expected to work with healers or shamans and stuff like that, but they just are drawn to me because of my experiences working for a healer for 4+ years, and she's still with me till this day. Yeah, so I help really all kind of niches, but mostly are business coaches and health and wellness coaches that are like mostly in my business.
I wanna ask you because like I know you gave an intro about yourself, but man, I'm kind of like I wanna see where this rabbit hole goes down. How did you get into this world? Like you said, you've been working with the healer. Like, what's that about?
Yeah, so the whole story is really interesting. Even the way I even got into the media buying is also interesting. So I don't know if you guys want me to go all the way back or just from the point where I started working with the healer.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Let's go with the
Let's
let's go with
let's
the healer. I think
let's go with
just
the
for the
healer.
sake of
Yeah, yeah.
time, and I have some. Yeah, I got some good questions. I know Seamus would want the deets, but yeah.
All right, let's do
Go.
it. So, so for the healer, I was fresh out of a program that I took for digital marketing, and I got certified with like Google Ads, YouTube Ads, Facebook Ads, and I just literally finished the course in 2 weeks. Then I started going to these kind of websites, KDM, LinkedIn, all that like Upwork to apply for to become a media buyer. So then I came across her profile, and you know how like when you're like desperate, you want to find jobs, you want to work and get in the field. I just started really just to automatically just hit copy paste for my resume for different type of coaches and business owners, and she was one of those people that I copy pasted my resume to her randomly. And she responded and she was like, oh, I actually don't need a media buyer, but I need someone like in my team for like marketing and stuff like that. So then I didn't want to actually work with her for some reason. I looked at her profile and I was like, do I really want to start with a complex niche like healing trauma? I'm not really expert much in it. I was more for like general media buying. So I took the leap and I was like, why not? I needed this opportunity. So I started working with her for free. Then, as I was working with her, she noticed that, holy shit, this girl, she grasps stuff fast. Because that's what I was really good at. Is like I grasp things fast and I go and take programs, courses, and really master that specific field and really just implement it good. So she invested in a mentor called Alaric Hick. I don't know if you guys know him, like he's all over the place on YouTube. Alaric Hick, the ad outreach guy.
Hmm. I'll have to. We'll have to put a note down.
Oh yeah, he's one of the big people in, especially in YouTube ads. So she invested in him. I think it was like around 15, 20 grand, 25. I don't know if he changed the pricing for now. But we took his program. I took it personally because she was not really good. She does not have the time. And her media buyer, surprisingly out of nowhere, he just handed the resignation letter and he was like, all right, bye. It's a bit, it's complex. You change your mind, stuff like that. So he left. So the only person she has at the time, it was me and another coach in her team. So she was
Mm.
like, all right, if you, I see that you're really interested anyway in the first place to be our media buyer, I'm gonna purchase this program for you. I want you to dive into YouTube ads. So I took that program and I was, guess how old I was. I was like 18 years old. I was like super young, and I was like literally the youngest person in every Zoom meeting with Alaric Hicks' team when they were like showing, like asking us and giving us like teaching and like Q&As, calls and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much I was really not at that level as where they were at, everyone in that room. And everyone is like business owners, coaches, and I was like, hey, I'm an intern and I'm here with you guys learning and expanding. So I took his program and I immediately, really, as I was watching the training, I immediately was going there and implementing fast in her YouTube ads account. And from there I also was watching Alex Becker. He's like one of my favorite when it comes to, he's the CEO of Hyros. He's the founder of Hyros. So I took his program on the side, and she was not knowing that. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna merge what Alex Becker is teaching and what this guy is teaching, Alaric Hick, and come up with my own unique way to get her to scale faster. And keep in
Yeah.
mind, we never done Google ads in her business. She only did like Facebook ads. She was really at that. She was between 10K to 20K. Then when we started doing his YouTube ad strategy and I combined it with other people's strategies that I was watching, reading articles, coming up with my own ways. So we literally implemented that, and within 3 months we were already hitting six figures. And within 8 to 10 months she hit the million, $1 million. And yeah, so that's literally what has been my journey being with her. And she was kind of like shocked. She was like, what the hell? I don't think you've never, had much experience with media buying. You seem like you already have experience for you to get to grasp things faster. But, that's like literally the summary of like how I started with her and what happened in her
Wow.
business.
How difficult is it to develop these skill sets? Because I think for the for the listener of our podcast, we hear these things, 10K month, whatever, right? We're advertised it, or I mean, maybe we get pushed it more because we're in the industry, right? And like we have a
Hmm.
business account, right? And targeted ads, right? Like you just
Yeah.
mentioned.
Hmm.
Um, how difficult? How much of a time suck? How much did it like truly require of your time to develop the skill set? Because the average person here is listening, they're looking for health or opportunity ship, right? And you just told me at 18 years old you're taking this expensive course,
Yeah.
and I mean, was there an immediate ROI? Like, were you already like seeing a return on your investment? Obviously, duh. But like, like how is that leading to you like manifesting from where you were getting started and maybe not having as much confidence being a young kid into then like kind of being bolstered into like this new role?
Got it. That's a really great question. So I think let me start with the timing. The timing is really, it does not matter how long it takes you to really grasp the skill. What matters is that how are you willing to really pay attention to the details when you are learning these skills. It's really not about the timing.
Hmm.
So when I took Alaric Hick program, it was like around 8, 9, 12 modules. And every time I will watch a video training, I will go immediately, like I will pause that video, I will not even finish it, and go immediately to the Google Ads account and start implementing.
Mm.
And by the time I finished majority of the modules, which was like around 8, 9 days, I already had all her campaigns built up, everything is built up. And as I was building the tech wise, the coach was building, her video, the video ad.
Mm.
So when you learn skills like that, like complex skills like ads, like funnels, digital marketing, it depends on how are you interested in that subject and what is your vision, the reason why you're learning these skills for.
Mm.
If that goal is bigger than your fear of how long it will take me to learn this, or I never learned this before, the learning process will not be like learning, because it's literally implementation. You just act
Yeah.
like how I always say it, act like a curious kid. You just grab this, put it here, grab this, put it here, implement, and that's literally how I grasp skills. I never feel like, oh, I never know this skill before, I might not be good at it, I've never taken it before. I don't have any thoughts. I just go there and be like, okay, what are we learning today? This. All right, let's go right there and start implementing. And that's how you start building really the skill, is by implementation. It's not by sitting and observing, or like listening to the
Mm.
video, or filling up the sheets. It's literally by implementation.
So obviously you had a budget. What was the budget
So the budget was 5 to 10 grand a month
in ad spend?
in ad spend, correct?
What if this was you, 18-year-old kid with $0 in ad spend? How are you gonna go implement these strategies? Like, you see what I mean? How like sometimes that might be unrealistic for some people, right? But like I get it. You're like, hey, dude, turn in his resignation. The only thing I have is that I gotta produce something because I'm the only one here. And you're
Mm-hmm.
like, I mean, sometimes I think this is a beautiful story. Everybody tells me this almost to a similar degree. My back was against the wall. I had no other choice, right? It was the only opportunity that
Mm-hmm.
was currently presented to me, and I'm gonna take it and run with it, right? And okay, you had 5 to 10K to spend. Okay, well maybe you have $5 to $10 to spend. Is that still effective though? That's my question to you. Is it still effective to have $5 to $10 to spend or put it into that, like into that ether? Like, does it is there going to be a return there, or do you need 5 to 10K?
Got it. So if you are just starting, let's take an example, let's say a brand new coach, and they're really just started out and they don't have any, they don't have enough funds to invest in media buying. I would now recommend for them to jump into YouTube ads, because YouTube ads needs you to have already a workable offer. Your offer should be already selling. And
Mm.
that's the time, okay, I validated my offer, I have clients already purchasing from me, and they're staying, they're not refunding, and you have some sort of systems in the back end. So what are you using the ads for exactly? Are you driving from the ads to your website? Are you driving them to a lead magnet? Are you driving them to a VSL and a call? Are you driving them to a 5-day challenge? The strategy is what matters, not really the ad, is the part after it.
Mm.
So YouTube ads is literally like you're pouring a water in the ocean, for example, or you're pouring gasoline into the fire, but you need to have the fire already there,
Mm.
if that makes sense.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
makes a lot of sense.
You can only really accelerate it if there's something at the end. So you can't just like, I'm just gonna make a video talking about this thing and let's hope it sticks. Like you have to be like, I'm getting them from this point to my thing, which is, I mean, so you first must find the thing, is what you're saying. And she obviously had the thing, right?
Yeah,
The person you were working for, so that made it abundantly clear.
yeah.
Um, did that
And
change the demographic? Did it change the age? Do you like what? Like, I'm curious. Like, what does that look like? Because I mean, it's more of a complex math problem, is what you're kind of saying. Like, it makes sense, but how did you go about that? Because you're reading this module, you're just like, okay, what am I? What were you looking for? Is the question I have.
got it. So it really, like I said to you, is that it's really that she had a kind of complex offer that is not really talked about in the YouTube space much. For example, she's a trauma healer. So she
Mm,
helps women to heal and release their traumas. And you don't really find a lot of ads with for coaches specifically that are like doing ads for trauma healing, specifically on YouTube. So the the math equation is a little bit harder, specifically if you kind of like, all right, I'm brand new, I'm not sure about my offer, I don't have any clients, so let me drive the traffic to my simple funnel and then I book a call with them or something like that. It You will spend a lot of money, but you will not see the huge fast return. So you
mm,
so let's say your offer is validated. Let's say you have a funnel where you're driving the YouTube ads for too. And then after when they opt into the funnel, what kind of system do you have in the back end of your funnel? Not just the front funnel, but what is it? Like not just the top of the funnel, but the middle of the funnel too. Like where
Can
do
you
they go after?
define funnel? Because I think always been the biggest thing that I would get lost in. Is
Yeah.
I know now what it is, but like for again the layman, what is a funnel?
Yeah, so a funnel is literally a one simple page. It's like a website, one simple page or two, and it has a specific reason, just one thing, one problem that you're solving in that funnel. So a website has a lot of things. You have the home page, you have, hey, watch my free videos, opt in here, do this, do that. In a funnel, that page and whatever page is after it is only for one specific thing that you're looking to offer.
Okay,
Whether it's a video, it's a free PDF, it has one specific target. So that's the difference between a website and a funnel.
mm.
got it. So funnel is like landing page, one specific offer. Because
Yeah,
obviously, like funnel is like quote where the user of the funnel, the person who goes onto that site, puts in their info. The back end system is funneling in info, right? Like that's where the term actually comes from, right?
exactly.
So you want to funnel in all the credentialed things that matter to you, the coach, right? That helps you then
Hmm.
turn that person from warm to hot to close, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
It really exactly that's the exact definition for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I mean, look, I spent years hearing funnel, 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 like, right? Like, realistically, it's like the best way of dealing with back end management of data, right? And like you just mentioned, that
hmm
back end system could be, literally just MailChimp, right? Like you're just
really,
getting an
yeah.
email, right? Literally. Or it could be a more complicated kind of CRM that organizes things far better. And those systems, we're coming to learn, matter a hell of a lot more depending on where
Hmm.
you're at.
Hmm.
Now, now that we see that, it's like, I mean, you can practically theoretically coach, is what I'm seeing with, AR funnel,
Yeah.
right? Literally, every page you funnel people to is a unique page dedicated to the client through a text message, which is like mind blown. Hey, I'm going to send you exactly what you need to do and fill out right to your
Hmm.
text messages, which is where most people need the viewership, because getting an app or getting to a web page or getting to those things is probably only as good as the place where you're constantly putting your eyes on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
No, 100%. 100%. And it's like keep evolving as well. Like the back end system that you talked about is it keeps evolving. It depends on how fast, how far do you want to go with your income and your business. And
Yeah.
that's exactly how big you make your systems in the back end. Because you don't really make money up front. You make money after they opt in, there is something that you're gonna offer, and then that's when you make the money
Yeah. No,
for
that makes.
do you? I mean, so your service, but could you do this with products, like
for
standalone products?
you absolutely can do YouTube ads and stuff for products for
Okay,
sure. Yep.
with a similar funnel approach, because I feel like most of the time I hear funnels, it's more coaching related, more service oriented.
It is. It is more like coaching orientated, but you can actually do it to drive it to Shopify, like YouTube ads to Shopify and stuff like that. I
Hmm.
haven't had most experience with products. I mostly like did it for coaches, but I've seen people doing it for product and it works well for them. And so it's YouTube ads and TikTok ads that are really good for products because on TikTok everyone is like scrolling is like 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and everyone is like they're addicted to watching videos. That's the time you catch them to purchase your product. Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is for gosh, Marcos. This is freaking gems right here. This is boss was telling us because I feel like
Yeah.
right now, I think like 2023, I feel like everyone is online. Like I think everyone understands the game now. Like whether you're a consumer or a like a business, like everyone kind of understands the game that social media is here. 2020 proved that to 21, 2022, and now coming into 2023, kind of into this new curve of like what the new world order is. I've seen so many people, Basma, like they're like, hey, this is how much my course is doing. This is how much this, and it's like, dang, like how are these guys doing it? And it's like you're right, and I like what you said. You're like, if your goal is so much bigger than the fear of you just starting the skill, it's like in 1 week, you literally said in 1 week you did the modules, you did modules as you go, and as you go you're changing the SEO, you're changing the YouTube ads, and it's like, oh, it went to 6 figures, but guess what, we got to 7 figures, right?
Yeah.
And it's like now it's like a seven figure month. Could you go deeper into like, okay, cool, so like now that we have the funnel built out, we're getting these people going, how do you then scale eyeballs, right? Like for us, like I'm personally asking because of this like thing Marco's probably interested too, is like this podcast, I'd like to see it scale up and be up there. How do you scale eyeballs for, using that example, that lady, like she may be a health and wellness store, just in the middle of a town somewhere, but now she's getting $1 million offers or $1 million months. So how do you go from that funnel to then scale? How does that look?
Got it. So it really is about. Okay, let me give you guys a secret that I think
Ooh.
a lot of people will make you guys pay for it, but I promise you, I'm here for with the gems. So
Please.
trust me. So you have a YouTube ads. You see, it depends also on where you're at in your journey because I don't recommend YouTube ads for beginners, especially
Mm-hmm.
when like I said, for validating the offer. But after you validate it, you have some sort of email system, at least some sort of that, and then you identify. That's the secret right here. You identify what are you going to offer them after they opt in from the ad, they come to your funnel, then where do they go after the funnel? That is the most important part. It's really not what you say in the ad, but what is after. So I know a lot of people go from ad to a landing page and then they go to video sales letter and then they book a call and then you do the sales call and then you get them in your coaching business or offer. Now, that has been done too much in the industry. A lot of people, everyone is like VSL webinar, VSL webinar, VSL webinar.
Mm-hmm.
Now the audience is already burned out. Like, man, I don't want to sit here and watch like 2 hours, 3 hours, someone talking about their life story and then selling me a course. It works. Look, it works if you're like trying to sell your course. So if it's a low ticket course, yes, absolutely you can sell it. But if it's a high ticket with a webinar, they will have to watch the entire presentation and they will have to go and book the call with you and then they might purchase or not,
Yeah.
but they will have to sit down to watch the entire video because I know a lot of people they don't even provide the skip button or like any of that, so the button even appears after they watch half of the presentation, so immediately people jump off of the presentation. I'm one of those people. I never completed really the entire webinar. I'm like, what is it? Just tell me what is the offer. Get going, you know? So what we did with this coach is something I've never seen any coach do till this moment. Right now I only saw like actually two the last month that I saw people are doing it. And I'm like, all right, the market is catching up, but not many people are doing it, which is driving from YouTube ads into a 5 day challenge. You will see a 5 day challenge on Facebook ads, on Instagram ads, every type of social media platform, but you will never find it on YouTube ads for some reason. I haven't seen any media buyer help people or help coaches or their clients to drive YouTube traffic to a 5 day challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why? Because on YouTube platform, people already watch long videos. They're already typing, how can I lose weight? How can I heal my trauma? How can I stop having an anxiety? They're already looking for that help specifically. So you appear in front of whatever video you're targeting. with YouTube ads, because YouTube ads has a superpower where you can target people based on their income.
Hmm.
Hello, high ticket, right? And not only that, but you can target every person that goes to your competitor's website.
What? Say what?
Oh,
How?
oh,
To your competitor's
Uh-huh.
website?
Uh-huh, exactly. So let's say I have a YouTube ads agency. I can literally set up an ad right now that goes to Alaric Hick or Alex Becker or any of these big media buyer, agencies, and grab and everyone that goes to their website, when they go to their social media platforms, specifically YouTube, I will pop off in front of their eyes, whatever video they're watching.
mm,
You see, that's
That
how
sounds
you
mm-hmm.
expensive.
look, it's actually not. It's actually not, because here, let's talk about budgeting a little bit.
Well,
Yeah,
For
please.
before you go there though, like if
Yeah.
you're like, I mean, if you're like, this person's offloading to that person's site, and like you said, then is it the next time they come through, they're getting an ad from you? Like,
No, it's literally after they go to their, let's say, to your competitor's website, and
yeah,
then they go, let's say, they want to watch a random video on YouTube or
got
somebody's
it.
video on
The
YouTube. That's when you pop up.
is there but there has to be an additional premium on that ad. Tell me there's not.
No.
Well,
All
Google.
right,
I
let
mean, you
me.
didn't hear from me. Like, if that's the case, then
Which one's more expensive right now? Because we're talking about budget a little bit, right? Like,
yeah.
which is the most? Is YouTube where the golden area of ads right now are? Because I know Google in the 2000s apparently wasn't that bad. Facebook was good, but like, is YouTube where it's at now in terms of like a good budget, Basma?
Yeah, it's that's why I don't. First of all, I don't recommend it for beginners for that reason, for
Okay.
that specific reason in terms of budget. But I really, really know that they can do it if they know how to budget it themselves and they have a great systems in the back end.
Mm,
So the budgeting for it, you can go as low as, hey, for this one campaign, I only want to spend, let's say, per day, let's say 60, 50 bucks, 20 bucks per day.
Mm, mm.
And it also depends how long you want that campaign to stay and perform.
mm-hmm.
In YouTube ads, the longer the campaign work, or like you leave it like to work, the more and the better results it goes and gets you, the better exactly on finding you the high ticket clients that you're looking for.
Okay.
So that's just the YouTube algorithm. So the longer you leave it, the better results you will get. And it's so true,
Wow.
because that's exactly
Is
what
it
I did on
is it
that
because
trauma.
it's is it because the algorithm knows it only has a certain dollar to spend, quote, per day, and it's more selective to the lead? You think?
No, I wouldn't say it's really because of the budget itself. It's because of, just like when you open a YouTube channel and then you start throwing, let's say you're brand new to YouTube and you want to have a channel like organically. It takes you time to get people into a YouTube channel in general.
Well, we don't know that problem. Kidding.
Ah, you see, like I'm telling, I faced that problem. Like,
Yeah.
so it takes time a little bit to get people into a YouTube channel. Like it doesn't go like, hey, viral as soon as you upload it.
Yeah.
You notice that the more the video stays there, you don't delete it, the more people it like the more people you will get and the more engagement you will get. It's literally the same thing with YouTube ads. It takes time. It does not mean you will not get quick leads, fast results right away. As soon as you run it, you will have those. I'm
Yeah.
talking about the longer you let the campaign run, the more high quality clients and leads you will get.
Got it.
I see. I
So
see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. That makes complete
because it
sense.
gets so good at like finding people's info from Google, their purchasing behavior and other funnels and websites. It gets more data the more you let it run. And that's exactly, you know, why
I'm
YouTube ads like the lead.
I'm just gonna make a offhand comment here, just like our background is like fitness, nutrition, and all that, and I'm just like standing here like this is a whole new world for me, Marcos. I'm like listening to this, like what is like this is
Well,
like a lecture in like
well,
technology I've never heard.
well, I mean, this is where Basma is like kind of pitching her service and value add
Yeah,
here
yeah.
is like this is very complex for one individual to handle. We would
Hmm.
be
Yeah.
probably better served finding somebody that is an expert in the field and leveraging their knowledge base to save you time.
Mm.
But it's going to cost you, what are the three variables? Time, money, and speed, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, literally, like, you can save time if you put money and speed into, like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever that, like, continuum is, right?
Yeah.
And, same thing here when we work with people now, like, the premium's the premium because we're going to cut down the time at which you get the result, right? How quickly do you
Mm-hmm.
want it? And like you just said, yeah, 10 to 20K ad spend or 5 to 10K ad spend or whatever, or paying the individual that knows the ins and outs. So like, hey, we know how to deal and market with it. It's why I haven't delved into it, Seamus. Like, I know that it's like it's a cool skill, but then there's another thing another hat we have to put on, right?
It's a deeper level. I
Let's
think that's why, like,
yeah,
I think things people like Basma who are amazing at this. I think it's just better left to them because it's just me riffing here. I think it's
yeah,
a skill that, like, for me, it's delegation is really important, and I think this would be for a business owner like listening to this, like, dude, if you think it's not worth that $5,000, but look at what Bosma is able to do is like that 5,000 in a month, 2 months, 3 months could be 6K, six figure reoccurring months, which is teaching here, and it's like I would pay that any day. I would pay that any. That's a one to
yeah.
what is that 100? I don't know, like 20x something like that.
Wouldn't you, would be, I
Yeah.
would argue too, though, you have to be at a level of competence of your own abilities and skill set too, right? Like, I mean, developing confidence to then post a 5 day course, right? Like, that's
Yeah.
if you've never done screen time, you're probably not really good at being in front of your own camera and talking to yourself, right? Like, know where
Mm-hmm.
you're at, and or again, like some people are like, okay, like you don't again maybe you start with organic or you do a little bit and you're just like trying to build a channel for shenanigans. It doesn't like you said, you has a niche or a theme.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be anything important, but like you can just maybe see like if I want to take up this skill set because I feel passionate about the marketing angle, you just have a little fun with it, right? Like I think there's, I would do it out of fun and like $5-10 here, learn how to do it because I like developing new skills that are challenging. It's like, but if you are an individual that's like looking for growth and scale, right? Too far, they're vastly different things.
Yeah. Can you
They're
talk
100.
about, yeah, Basma, can you talk about what, because we just kind of driving people now to like a 5 day challenge. Can you talk about like what makes a great 5 day challenge? If that's
It's a
something
good one.
you've
It's
had
a good one.
experience with or kind of help people with.
Yeah. So I learned the 5-day challenge from the client that I was working with, and I still work with her.
Mm,
So how she did her 5-day challenge is not like many other people that you see their 5-day challenges, which is I think is pretty damn smart. Like you have to really know, like let's say you learn a skill or you know about this new strategy that you want to try it on. You
yeah.
really don't have to copy that mentor or copy these people, but innovate on top of what you learn from them. So what happened with this client is that she like Marcus said, she was not confident in front of the camera. Like she did not want to go live for 5 days,
Mm,
live with the leads and teaching them different topics. I call them mini master classes. So each
mm,
day you teach them about specific topic. You dive deeper into one specific topic. Let's say today I'm gonna talk to you about offers, how to craft your high ticket offer, and then I go dive deeper into why they need to learn it, like how they should do it, what it is about, what's the good and pros and cons of doing this versus this, all that kind of stuff. You really go above and beyond in each tiny masterclass that you do, which make it the 5-day challenge.
mm,
That's what makes, I think what makes a 5-day challenge superior to the other materials like video sales letter webinars is the experience that people are in your specific group or platform for straight 5 to 10 days, depends when do you want to close it, if you want to extend it, if you have a warm up days. So for the client, she has for 10 days. We let the people in the group, they have warm up days, and then we throw in the 5-day challenge. Like each day is a video.
yeah.
Love it.
Let's say the first video, right? You warm them up. Really, the 5-day challenge is all about objection handling. What do you need them to know and learn before they hop on a call with you, or you close them on the chat.
Mm.
If you solve these issues in each video, these people are already selling themselves in each video each day. They're like, oh, I have a misconception about this. Oh wow, I never know this is how you craft an offer. I didn't know this is how you lose weight. I didn't know that, let's say, diet. Let's say we're talking about, let's say, being, let's say, vegetarian or something like that, like vegetarian diet, something like that, or veggie diet. Some people, really specifically like your audience, they might not know what's the difference between this diet, why they should even listen to you, why they should even care about this type of diet, or this diet even exists. You are actually handling objection, you create a problem awareness,
Yeah.
you are educating them about the solution and why they should take action now, like what's going to happen to them if they don't solve it now,
Mm.
what's the consequences. So that's the theme for each day for different topics that are actually your offer pillars.
Huh.
So if your offer, let's say business coaching, let's say you have offer creation, you have how to validate your offer, how to do social media content and get your first few clients, how to do sales calls, right? Or mindset too. So each day you will take one of your modules, one of your pillars, and you're gonna create a mini master class for, let's say, for 45 minutes to an hour. I would say don't take it longer than that,
Yeah.
and teach them everything. But do not teach them the how, it's the what and the why. And then you create urgency and scarcity and all that kind of stuff for this specific topic.
Mm.
I
I'm
mean,
So
taking
you
notes.
got me
I'm
it
thinking.
taking
Thinking
sounds
notes right
about it.
now.
complex.
I'm taking notes.
Yeah.
It
And
sounds
really,
complex, but trust me, like once you do it once, you can actually automate it. And that's the next level that we did. You don't have
Oof.
to be live though. See, now I'm giving you guys the actual nugget. Look,
The juice. Give me the
the
juice,
juice.
Basma.
I'm giving you the juice. So you set up the system. Obviously, you need to have emails, SMS, texts. If you have a CRM software, you need to have those. You need to have 2 emails per day in the AM and the PM, and then you need to have a text message right after the AM message before each video drops. So that way you drove people again to open their emails to go, and like you're reminding them every day that there has to be a reminder in the AM and the PM. Let's say they're working in the AM, like in the morning, you drop another email in the evening, they will open it. There's no way they're gonna miss it unless they're intentionally ignoring your emails. But we've seen a lot of open rates and a lot of engagement. So you need to have emails, you need to have text messages, you need to create tags, add them in an email list, all that kind of stuff. You need to prepare it. That's in terms of the challenge. Now, this client did not want to go live. She just didn't feel comfortable. I don't want to go live. So what happened is that we decided to make it pre-recorded. Like she just get up one day and just start recording each day, and then put it in a Vimeo, like a video host platform. And then each day we did like the Facebook group scheduling. So you don't do it in your free Facebook group. You do it in a separate free group. That's why it's called, like we call it the mini groups, like sub
yeah, you can clone it, right?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like it's unique every time, but it's cloned and it gives an organic feel ish. I mean, people likely know it's automated, but it's yeah. I mean, okay,
Yeah. So exactly. So you do it that way. The reason why is because you want to see the traffic source that you're driving leads from. Let's say it was our first time trying YouTube ads. So we don't want it to mix it with our people already in her free Facebook group. We wanted to test the traffic source first.
Mm.
You see, because we don't want any person in her free group that are not in her ideal, prospect or ideal leads kind of thing to turn
Yeah.
them into sales. So we opened a tiny group, and then that's when we drive everything to a funnel, and then from the funnel they get in the Facebook group. So every day we schedule it inside of that group, the training. Okay, drop this in this day on this time, drop this in this day in this time. So when we accept people, we don't let anyone in the group before the warm up days. So we tell everyone, hey, there is this live challenge will start in 3 weeks.
Isn't that a long call to action?
It is long, but they don't know it until they go and already request. Like it's one of the questions. You
Yeah.
acknowledge that the group will start in three
Yeah,
weeks from
yeah,
this
on this
day.
day. Yeah, okay.
You see,
Mm.
that's why you need the emails and the text messages, or else they will.
But that's why you're testing it. That's why like you're getting information and you're kind of seeing like what prospects are getting there. That makes sense. That dang.
3 weeks
Okay.
though, is that then like a good cadence or is that too long?
It's look, it's never long if you have you add something in the email sequence before you start
Before.
dropping the warm-up days. Hey, the
Yeah.
warm-up is tomorrow. So let's say you keep driving them into your YouTube channel. Hey, let's
It's
say every
into it.
day you drop them an email in the automation itself. Watch my YouTube video about this. Oh, you're dealing with this problem, go here. Oh, I have a free offer for you. Do the, you see what I mean? Like you keep offering them, offering them in the same automation.
Yeah.
So
No. 100%. Like you just dripping into their ecosystem.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So once that happens and you start scheduling the videos and the hashtag post, like I call them the hashtag post, is after you they finish, I say after you drop, let's say training number one. By the evening time, you drop a post that says hashtag challenge accepted, hashtag let's say we are great, hashtag something related to the video they just watched. That boosts the engagement. Like there has to be some engagement post in between the trainings. Who's here excited for day 4? It's gonna be about this. Tune in. Who's you see, like you have to keep them excited, especially if you're not doing it live.
Yeah.
So what we did is that her team, like on her team, we were actually commenting, like we're active in comments, but we're not active in live videos. She's not doing any live. So we drop the
Mm.
video, we comment and interact with the people. By day 6, we call it the offer day. That's when she drops, this is everything you learned through the 5 days. This is how all of it come together, and this is why you need to learn it. This is why it's this way, kind of thing. And this is why I'm unique to show you how to combine these methodologies, skills, what you learned in the 5 days. And then she kind of like do a pitch presentation. It kind of similar to webinar video sales letter, where you start
Mm-hmm.
telling them, would you rather go this way or would you rather go with the help of a coach? Why you need the coach to do this, all that kind of stuff, where it's actually the pitch part of the video.
Mm-hmm.
And then she drops the price. That's the difference. She drops the price in her, I would call it a pitch video at the end, and then she has a Q&A, like questions they might have. Then she tells them type interested if you want to dive in deeper. See, now they're already aware of the price, they're aware of everything, and they had massive value for 5 days straight. Then when they comment interested, the team goes there and be like, okay, we dive into her personal message, her personal messenger, and we start literally asking them 3 questions. 3 questions. The first question is, do you have 3 to 5 hours per week to commit to this program? Then the second question goes like, why do you think, as you know, we are small container or we are very selective, why do you think you'll be the best fit for this program? The third question is, as you know, this program, let's say, is very exclusive, blah, 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 blah. And then at the end, you're like, the investment will be 3 installment of this or 1 payment of this. That's literally how we did it till this day. And that's how she got to 1 million in 8 to 10 months. We never took sales call. She never did them live. And all what we did is commenting 24/7 whenever they comment. That's literally it.
Closing high ticket on chat, Basma. That is boss.
I'm telling you. And her offer price, if you guys are wondering, it was first she started at 3,500, and then we up it to 4,500, 5,500. Yeah, these are like the price ranges.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Whoever is listening to this as a business owner right now, if you already have the fulfillment and you don't have this, like this is making me laugh
It's a
because
dope. It's a really good method. I mean,
it's
it made me
it's
think of
so good.
the 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 macro micro masterclass or the micro
Yeah,
macro masterclass or whatever. Like literally, that was
we
like
should
going
make
in
it.
my mind of that
I
5 days,
know,
and it's like,
I know, but it's
and then it's like,
honestly,
yeah,
yeah,
but again, too, like the fulfillment of it. And we're working really hard to like work on public speaking and like this type of arrangement for an opportunity like that. Sometimes
Mm,
we're getting graced by people such as yourself to maybe take that on, and be like, oh shit, that was who knew, that that was the whole reason that we started this freaking journey with people.
yeah,
um but I mean, so many people can capitalize on something a very similar strat. I mean, there's millions of people out there, right? Like,
mm-hmm.
all right, guys, I'm sure you probably never even thought of this. How many people do you think you need to make $1 million in a year? Well, obviously, obviously your price point matters, right? But how many people do you think you would realistically need to reach in order to like make $1 million over the course of a year?
you know, it's a good
It's just a
question.
well, no. I can break it down for you. Simple math:
Yeah,
333 people paying $250 a month makes you
boom.
$1 million a year,
Mm-hmm.
right? 333 people. Can you reach 333 people at that price point? Maybe you already charge more, right? Maybe you do, like you just said with like Bosma, like where that higher ticket thing was. The thing is that once it becomes more exclusive or people see what that thing is, then that's when it drives the price up, right? Like when you first started, granted your situation is unique, Bosma. When I first
Yeah.
started tutoring kids, it was like $15 an hour.
Mm,
I'm fivefold that these days just to
yeah.
give people an hour of like helping because I still like helping kids, right? But again, like what is the end goal there? Be really good at math in a short period of time, right? Be exceptional. Literally like take your
Mm,
grade from a D to an A in one visit. And like again, maybe I'm not even charging enough at this point. Maybe it needs to be $100. Maybe I need to lump it together. Maybe I need to stop doing nutrition coaching. I don't know, right? Like all I know is that you learn these ways of angling, like positioning yourself and learning that
yeah.
offer. I think the
Yeah.
biggest takeaway here is like, how do you want to go about getting eyeballs?
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
question.
And
That's
this is
really the question.
that's really the question. And I just want to comment back is like guys, listen to this is like they're closing high ticket 3,500, 4,500 on chat on chat.
It's
Okay.
difficult as hell.
And here's the thing: I've had to close, gym memberships, fitness memberships, whatever it is. Um, just asking someone for $50 a month in person takes like a 30-minute goddamn conversation, and I don't have that kind of volume that you would have online,
Mm-hmm.
right? You don't have the
Mm,
worldwide freaking web. You only have the local area, and it's like you only get maybe like 5 people per week or something to come into your office, and it's like 30 minutes later they're saying no to your low ticket offer. It's like, are you serious? Like, and then but it's like, guys, listen to this. Listen to how effective that is, man. That's phenomenal, Bosma. That's freaking phenomenal.
yeah, I mean, it's sad or like like unfortunate that a lot of people don't really realize that they don't have to really do specific strategy as it is. They can take that strategy, acknowledge that this strategy is there and it's
Mm-hmm.
effective, and how can they adapt to their situation with this strategy. Like if you're not confident on speaking on camera, and you need a conversion method, that's what I call it, conversion method, whether it's a video sales letter, a webinar, a 5-day challenge, in-person retreats, events. If you're not confident on speaking on camera, no problem, you can pre-record it and just drop it. You can literally test it. You'll never know what is going to work for you
Mm-hmm.
until you actually do it. Even if the other people are not doing it, you can be the first to do it.
Yeah,
Ooh, wait, let me
yeah.
mark that because that was gold
Mark
as
that.
well.
Mark that as gold. Let me ask you real fast, Bosma.
I'm also producing simultaneous.
On the 5-day challenge or a 5-day course or whatever. Um, how often would you run that now that it's automated? Like, I know back for me, I was talking to Marcos about this in person, that like we used to have 21-day challenges to get an influx of people into my gym, into our gyms, and it's like I'd run that about 4 to 6 times, right? We could run that 4 to 6 times a year. How many times could you run a 5 day challenge in a year?
That's a great question. So we run it for 2 times a month.
Oh,
2 times a month. That's how we were able to scale faster in like 8 to 10 months to a million. Is when we start doing it 2 times a month, and then we pushed now back because we have another conversion methods like video sales letter, webinars, all that kind of stuff in the back end as well. So now we put it down into once per month, but we still do it once per month. But here's also what you can do though, you guys. If you want to turn this completely automatic, you don't want to create and duplicate Facebook group, you don't want to, erase the people, erase the post and re-upload, you can actually go put it into any platform, ClickFunnels, Kajabi, any platform as a mini course. And then you drop it as a timed course, a timed challenge. This is a timed challenge. You're only gonna have access to it for 10 days. After the 10 days, you're gonna be removed. You're not gonna have access to any of the trainings. And what you can do, have this as the back end of your funnel. So when people opt in to your free PDF, to your free training, and then they finish it or they get it, then you enter them into a different automation that invites them to join this limited time training. When they join this funnel, it's essentially the 5 day challenge, but as a course. But they think it's a course, but it's a challenge. They get in, they start watching it because the time is ticking, and every day video disappears. It's like it's very urgent kind of thing. They have to watch it, or else the video disappears by the end of the day. And it's automatic though. You can do it in the funnel. You can drip the videos, or limited the access until they finish this video, then this open and this disappears. You can do that in Kajabi. By the end of the video 6, again, the pitch video, you tell them, you change the instruction in the bottom, you just say type here or comment to me or message me here in this number or Instagram DM that you're interested to join. And you just leave it like that. And then whenever people opt in from different funnels, from different ways that you have them in your system, they will be automatically entered into this funnel that is already automated. And then here we go. This is working for you, converting people in the back end. Now you can add a different conversion method. You can have a video sales letter and you go on a sales call. You can run a live one on Facebook while this is working for you in the back end. You see, like you will never like feel like you don't have enough clients if you take this and put it as a systemized option in the back end. Because
mm,
what I found is that when people come into your world, your business, your funnel, your automations, they don't really convert from the first free thing that you offer. They really don't. They will watch, let's say, your PDF, your video sales letter, and then when you hit them with something so valuable for so many days, like a 5 day challenge, 21-day challenge, and this challenge is really valuable. It gives them so much, like it deletes their beliefs. I call it delete, but people call it limiting beliefs. You limit their beliefs, like you erase it. You help them overcome their objections, really, that they might have by the end. You give them like problem awareness about problems that they might not even know about. All that kind of stuff is very valuable and educational, relatable, and calling them out. This is really what makes the 5 day challenge more converting than just a video sales letter. Because it's not just you talking about your story and how you got there, but you're actually going above and beyond to get in that person's head behind the screen. By the end of the 5 day challenge, they're like, holy shit, this person knows me. They know me exactly. They know my limiting belief. They know my objection. They know everything. They take action and enroll. But if you only have a free thing and then you tell them, let's have a phone call, they haven't really experienced being with you for 5 days. It hits different. They know how you talk, how you coach, how you behave, how you like your energy, your vibe, your knowledge, your presence, your authority. It makes it different. That's what makes it very different than the other methodologies.
Yeah, and it's also, I mean, it's not new, right? Like it's newer, and a lot of people. I mean, like again, I know I'm constantly bombarded with like this thing, this system, right? And they're advertising to me a business, right? Like my account's a business account, so it makes sense. Like Instagram lead is that way.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it's like what message do you eventually resonate with? It's gonna be one of them at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Something there is enticing enough, and it's a numbers game. And that's where I think, I'm more so interested these days. Like I think a lot of people, the money doesn't interest me. I'll just say, I'll put it out there. Having enough
Mm-hmm.
time to, to do everything else that's supposed to be part of my life matters far more than, you know, seven figure whatever number. Like right, like if it means I'm investing too much time into my work and not enough time into my life, then there's no balance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but what I'm like kind of finding out about a lot of people is, again, that opportunity cost of like, well, what if, like, what does that look like? How how is it that this angle, why are they pitching this, right? And I'm looking at like so many factors now since we started this project. The
Yeah.
cadence of their speech, right? How are they editing the reel? How are they editing the ad? What's going on here? What's the offer? What's the hook? What's the this? You know what I mean? And now I've just become even more aware about like, quote, the new age marketing strategies and how are they grabbing my attention. So when one gets me for literally 5 seconds, well, what do they do different in that first 5 seconds, right? That's like a Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Beast, like that's his thing, right? He grabbed your attention from the thumbnail. That's why it blew up. He's like, I want to do something so different that like, like you already knew what you're going to watch based on that picture, you know?
Yeah.
And, and another podcast jokes about, hey, if you want to know where everything's headed, look at porn, right? And like they said that jokingly, but it's true. Like, how do they grab your attention in that feature? Well, it's a Giphy looking thing. It's a GIF effectively, right? Like you scroll over, you
Mm-hmm.
kind of get quick bites of those things, right? And that thing actually is what Loom uses, right? So I wouldn't have been surprised if a developer for Loom was like, hey, I want you to have a GIF of like what you're about to be talking about, like so it looks like there's some level of engagement, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and they said this about AI actually. They said, hey, AI, whatever that industry does, they actually lead the revolution. So I was like, oh, let me think back about this. Like that's a really interesting synopsis, right, on those things. But
Yeah.
yeah, no one out here selling a porn masterclass. That's for sure.
That's funny. I mean, you never know. They could be somewhere out there.
The
Yeah,
5 day
they'll
builder,
probably
the
be like,
5 day.
here's how you use AI to make it in the adult industry, right? Like
Who
no
knows?
one,
Yeah.
that's like very, very much so plausible these days. And when they made that comment on that podcast, I was like, oh wow, like that's an interesting observation. But there's so much money in that industry. Like I think doesn't it blow the fitness and nutrition industry out of the water? And that industry, like our industry, is like what, a couple billion, however many billion, 17 billion
Yeah, so like
industry now.
I think the fitness industry is about 16 billion, and then like the supplement industry is well over 75 million, million or something like that, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's really big numbers, but like that's an industry that is like insane amounts of money. Probably that's attention. I really think it's just it comes down to attention. What
yeah.
what hijacks the attention centers in the brain? Boom, and it's really locked in. So
Yeah, well, that industry's cheating. They're cheating on a different level of dopamine hit, and you do that with your porn reboot with your guy Seamus, and that's also what kind of
yeah,
brought me to that attention. Is like those people become so addicted to that particular thing, and people are addicted to social media too, right? And
yeah.
like you and Bosma, you mentioned the rabbit hole of TikToking, and it got me thinking about oh wow, like yeah, like that thing, that offer, right? That pitch, how it comes about, um, led to, I mean, a lot of thought, right? Like, and I think that a lot of
Mm-hmm.
viewers and listeners to this today, they may have been like, whoa, I didn't realize how much really goes into it. I thought like, oh, that's so easy that people can do that. I mean, every day my son puts on YouTube, I'm kind of like enamored by the process. Like I'm annoyed by the video, but I'm like, these two dudes, lanky box, are making millions doing, playing doors, and then selling a product to fucking um, Chuck E. Cheese.
Hmm.
I was shocked when I went to Chuck E. Cheese for the first birthday party of my 5 year old, like the first time we've gone to a birthday party because of COVID, and I was like, holy shit, I didn't realize they were that big. They're in like a, they're so it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to add like to what you said is really, I think the AI right now is really huge, especially really it's a technology. Before, people have to come up with the content themselves. They have to sit down and come up with this ad or this copy or this course or this live event.
Hmm.
Now you can actually do it with, let's say, chat gbt. I mean, of course, you don't have to rely on everything that chat gbt says, because you have to make it personalized
Yes.
to your offer, the same tone and stuff like that. But you can literally create the 5-day challenge with chat gbt.
So we're doing
and I
after
would
this.
and I would literally challenge somebody to do that with the strategies that you mentioned, because it's still going to be a time suck for you, because you got to prompt it properly, you still got to edit, you still have to understand copy, you still have to understand so many skill sets that it's not that easy. And if you can do it real easily, well, kudos, you probably just found a new career. Like,
Six
get out of
figure
your 9 to
months.
5, and
Run it on automation, as Basma said.
yeah, and
That's true.
nothing is that easy, right? Everything that seems okay, like you can make this much money, it's not that easy, right? Like let's just bring everybody down to reality really quick. Yes, it's a possibility, but it's not easy. It requires work, and it
Yeah.
requires you understanding that there may be a little bit of a dip in the beginning to correct and be like, either your offer sucks or you're just not reaching the right audience. You need to pivot, right? And then you could be up on the upswing by day 31. Maybe it's not day 30, right? But like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not a linear effect in any of these games anymore. It's
Mm-mm.
very, like, literally we could post one thing at 7 o'clock one day and 7 o'clock the next day, no hits. What
Yeah.
happened? Mm-hmm. It's like, are we gonna stop doing seven? I don't know. It was good one day. We can keep trying until we think it doesn't work. I don't know. We're looking, as humans. We're looking for some sort of correlation. We want to figure out like this game. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I would really agree with you, especially about that. It's not as easy as you think it is, but as well at the same time, it's simple if you kind of like if you really want to, let's say, go from 10K to 30, 50, 60, 100K and that kind of stuff. You If you commit it and you're willing to dedicate the time for it, you
mhm,
can easily do this. But you will have to set it up, because once you set it up once, all what you have to do after that is just duplicate the automation, switch things up, make change
mhm,
some words, duplicate that group, switch some. So it becomes easier once you do it once. But that the first time you do it, it will always be the longest, the hardest, the time that you're like, this is not gonna work. What if this? The limiting beliefs all will show up at that moment. But if you can just keep going and go there without any expectation. If this tank, let's say I did 5-day challenge, or I run ads, or I posted social media post, and it does not go viral, does not perform well, now you have a data to work on. What can I improve? And let's say you run ads, let's say you put down $500 for this campaign, and the people that opted into your challenge, they did not convert. Let's just say that.
mhm.
How can you maximize and have feedback based on your challenge, so that way you can fix it, so the next time you run ads you explode? And that's actually
Yeah.
what we did. We literally emailed each person and also text them and put a post in the group. What do you think you learned the most from this challenge? Why you're not investing in this program? What are you looking for? Like, get the market data inside of that product itself. The 5-day challenge, VSL, whatever you're doing, email every person and ask them for their feedback, because they will tell you literally exactly what you need to fix. Hey, I didn't like when you talked about this. Hey, this does not resonate with me. And you collect the data and see how many people are saying this the same thing, and based on that, adjust it, fix it. So the next time it will be much much better. So we only fixed the challenge only once from these, because we just paused and then we got the market data, and after that, that's when we really scaled and we start using the same language they are actually using themselves in their head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really, look, the secret, this is another nugget for you guys. The secret to have a successful ad campaigns, social media post, viral videos is how well do you know your client and your prospect and the words they use in their head, not just what they say verbally but in their head. And if you've been where they're at, you will know exactly what these words are. Like, what are these words? For example, if I'm in my head, I'm like, oh, I suck at this. I'm dumb. I'm this. I'm this. I'm this. If I see an ad that says, I know you think you that you're suck at this, but here's what you need. You see, I'm like, oh shoot, how did this? This is exactly the same word and language I use in my head. This guy must be different. This guy knows exactly what I'm going through.
Mm. We've taken a lot of notes, Bosma. I don't
Uh,
know if this
I- I'm
answered or seeing
I'm
things.
getting like,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm getting kind of like chills right now, and I don't want to I don't want to stop you on your roll, but
yeah.
I just took
It's.
a lot of notes. This is good stuff.
I think you could. I think if you're what's the word? You mentioned like manifesting, like getting on the stage and being there as well, talking about simple solutions to this complex game. You know,
Yeah,
um, yeah, you can definitely get to that keynote thing. And again, like I we don't want to take up the rest of your day. We definitely could, because these are strategies that people should reach out to you directly. And while this may be more of a coach's episode, again, everybody has an idea or something they want to do, and you're only as good as that marketing effort and getting the thing to be known to then get it to obviously serve that purpose. So to me, and I've kind of known this after dabbling, and one of our future guests next week actually taught me indirectly that the way of going about creating social media posts should not be on me, right? And that was like 5 years ago. So I'm actually really cool to share that experience with him. And yeah, it's never as easy as it seems. Is all I can say, right? But give it a go.
yeah.
You might be good at it. Who knows? You may have a skill, or you might learn that you need to go pay for it. So, Seamus, do you have any other like closing things that you would want to bring up?
You know, I feel like this was a skill that I wanted to delve into, like click funnels, listening to the Hormozis, listening to people how to create an offer, how to create good fulfillment. Russell Brunson, all these guys, and just listening to Basma though be the person that's distilled it, done it, and showing you how to make six-figure months, or even up to seven-figure, but like showing you the strategies in there. The reality of it is like she took what was on paper and implemented it. And I think the biggest thing there, and this is what I teach the guys in the reboot, this is what I teach my clients, is like implement, implement. So whatever it is that Bossman talked about today, whether it's reaching out to her so she can implement it for you because you need to delegate that, or implement it yourself from like, hey, I'm gonna do a 5 day thing and I'm gonna take these notes and do it right now, right? And then how do I automate? Like all these things that you got, the biggest thing is action. Because you can take all this knowledge and listen to this podcast. Wow, that was so great. That was so deep, but that's not going to move the bank account. That's not going to move your impact on your niche, right? That's not going to impact anybody if you just keep it in for yourself. So my biggest message really, guys, so listeners, is reach out to Bosma, do the action steps in here, make it happen, implement, do it right away, and see what happens. And who knows, like Marco said, this could be another side hustle thing or your main hustle thing. And there's always an offer, there's always an impact, and there's always a bigger mission at hand. Just like this podcast, this podcast can get bigger now just because of this talk. So,
Well,
yeah,
literally as she's speaking and as Seamus, you're doing these closing things, I literally just asked, I want to create a 5 day mini masterclass on creating ideal fat loss plan. All right, cool. What does that even look like? Here's some structure, Chat GPT, right? Like I'm looking at it. You know what? 5 days looking at these five quick like key things. Like literally that took me all of half a second to write the prompt. That actually came up with something quasi decent. But then what? Where's the execution step? How did they make
mm-hmm.
that come to fruition? You can't, that's not sellable. Those are bullet points,
Mm-hmm.
right? You, the individual or the product creator or the service provider, have to then go figure out how to like create that thing yourself, right? And that's
Yeah.
why we're spending, I mean, I got however many hours of recording myself in front of this damn Logitech mic, camera, at this point, and I'm still getting hopefully better. Want to be a master of that. Um, but it sounds easy on paper, but go execute, right?
Mhm.
Don't talk about it, be about it. Give it a go, give it a try. And if you're looking for more information on how that might be more accessible to you, or how to save your time so you can get to this maybe income goal quicker, reach out to Basma. And Bosman, do you want to go ahead and give them like where they can reach you, and then we'll put all the other stuff in the notes as well.
Oh yeah, sure. So you can reach me out on my Instagram because I'm really trying to grow my Instagram page. So my Instagram handle is at Basma Basma Biel Biel. So that's exactly where you're gonna find me at. I also talk about not just paid media but also organic marketing, video, like pretty much I know the whole system to take someone from zero to like a million in like a year. So you can find me there. I talk about a lot of topics, so feel free to connect with me.
Awesome. Great. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Macro Perspective. And this one, again, a little bit different, looking at a whole new angle, a whole new perspective that you probably have heard about, but never had a deeper dive. And it cost you zero money investment, which, again, this is our free offer to you and from Bosma to give you a lot of gold nuggets of how you can go apply this on your own. And if you, again, want more, please reach out to our team and Bosma. She would be happy to help.